are back at you with another Madden 23 Ultimate Team video, and today we're going to be going over part 5 of our spread offensive ebook. We're going to be going over Gun Bunch today. Now, Gun Bunch is one of the most meta formations in the game, that and gun tight. You're going to see a whole lot of bunch online. I'm not going to sit here and tell you this is the best gun bunch in the world. There are some really good gun bunches in different playbooks. I know Gun Bunch offset and quite a few different playbooks really good. Carolina, the Eagles, and the regular Gun Bunch out of the Washington playbook. And the Steelers are probably two of the more notable bunches that are in the game this year. This doesn't have every single play, every single really good Gun Bunch play in the game, but this does have some really good ones. Also, we're going to shortly go over a couple variations of Gun Bunch that are in this playbook, but there's not a whole lot of great plays out of those. We're just going to go over those very briefly. We're mostly going to focus on Gun Bunch today. So let's waste no more time. Let's hop right into this. So we are here in the spread offensive playbook. I'm going to repeat this. The spread offensive playbook. If you are in regs, if you're looking on mutt.gg, it's going to be called spread. If you are looking in Madden Ultimate Team, it's going to be called pass balanced. Pass balanced is the same thing as spread. It just has different names in regs and in Madden Ultimate Team. Don't ask me why, but that's what Madden decided to do this year. So the spread offensive playbook is going to be the playbook that we're running out of. Alright, so we are going to try to speed run this ebook because I don't want to waste too much of your time, and a lot of my ebooks have been a lot longer. So the only adjustment we're going to make to our audibles is going to be put Y curl where spacing switch was. We're going to leave halfback base, verticals, and mesh spot right there. And we're going to get into the run plays just real quick. We don't need to focus on the runs too much, but some of these runs are pretty decent. There's actually only 2 runs that we're actually going to run out of this Gun Bunch. Now, the first one is going to be this Halfback Counter. This is a very good run play if you can actually hit the edge. Now, against man coverage, you're not going to be able to hit the edge a lot, especially against nickel over. Nickel over is one of the better run defenses in the game, so I would not expect to be able to hit the edge every single time against this. As we see, we are getting shedded consistently, especially when they pinched our line like that. But if they do audible to a zone call, what we can do is we can go ahead and motion this outside receiver over and motion block him as soon as he gets outside that tackle right there. And if we can hit that edge, we are going to actually get outside for a massive gain. So let's go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. We're going to go ahead and audible to a Tampa 2. Just one more time real quickly. We're going to motion Godwin over and make sure you don't hit turbo until you get to your hole, and it doesn't matter there, we got shedded in the backfield. So this counter is pretty effective online, but in practice mode doesn't look too great. Here we just want to go ahead and double team this guy, and we're just going to hit this hole right here, and we do pick up some pretty decent yardage. This halfback base call is a pretty good call. It's a very hard run to shoot. If you guys know, halfback base has been one of the better run calls in Madden the last few years. It is pretty good for a few yards a play. Some people will spam this quite a bit. Halfback base out of Gun Bunch, one of the better runs in this playbook. Alright, so we're going to show you every play and what specific hot routes we're going to make against certain coverages. We're going to start with the Tampa 2. We're going to start with the play bunch trail. Now, you really don't have to do anything. You can just snap the ball, but I'd like to flat this outside receiver right here, and we're always going to take our flats if we're there. That is going to be our first read on this play every single time. Our next read is going to be the angle route from the tight end. If they don't user that, we're going to be able to throw that in between the zones every single time, especially if they have deeper zone drops. That is one of those routes that you really have to user. Even manned up, it's not going to play it. But if we can actually buy time in the pocket, we're going to be able to hit this skinny post over the middle for a touchdown against the Tampa 2 bunch trail, one of the better plays against Tampa 2, as we are able to rack that down the field for a nice one-play touchdown. You're not going to see a lot of Tampa 2 online, but if you do, this is one of the best plays against it out of this Gun Bunch. Now, if they do shade their cover 2 down, just like we saw right there, then we should have this corner route on the sideline fairly easily. As we see, we go ahead and click on and make sure we aggressive catch that. That way we don't get a bad animation and either have an interception by the DB or have them knock it out. So this is shaded down, Tampa 2. So they have hard flats instead of cloud flats. And again, I actually pump faked instead of threw it, but we did see there the corner route was wide open. Let's go ahead and go into a cover 3 and our setups against the cover 3 right here. You're going to see a lot of cloud flats. People usually won't keep those curl flats because they really don't do too much. So we're just going to go ahead and streak the outside receiver, Mike Evans, right there. And we're going to go ahead and put Kittle on an out route. You actually can leave him on that specific trail route. It's not too bad, but I really do like to have an out route for a nice little flood concept to the right side of the field. And then, of course, that streak route to pull away any kind of outside zones. So we did see right there we were able to get the pass off, even though we were getting shedded crazy because practice mode is insane. So I actually went to a cover 2 right there. Unfortunately, I did not mean to stay in a cover 2. Let's go ahead and audible to a cover 3 just one more time. And our setup right here, we're just looking for this corner route, and of course if this out route's right there, we're going to be able to take that every single time. But our first read is going to be the out route from the tight end. Our next read is going to be the corner route. Sometimes this post is going to be open over the middle of the field, but not super often. You can really put him on a smart routed in route, a nice little backside dig route, so you have a check down against the cover 3. If they don't user that, you're going to be able to fire that in there every single time. That's one of those really, really nice zone beating routes. It also is does a good job against man coverage. But let's go ahead and make sure we audible to cover 3. And just real quick, I'm going to show you a very, very specific cover 3 beater, something that you're not going to see online a whole lot. We're going to put our running back on a streak and motion him out. We're going to put Evans on a streak as well, and we're going to go ahead and spy the D-line so we don't get screamed at. But I'm going to show you that this isn't going to work every time, but when it does, it is a very, very nice cover 3 beater. We see they bumped right there, but we were actually able to pass lead that to the outside for a 1-play touchdown. So really our only adjustments on that play are to streak Evans and then streak our running back and motion him out. Let's go ahead and make sure the defense is in a cover 3. Go ahead and just spy the edge rushers. That way we have a little bit of time in the pocket. And this should work, and it does. We need to pass lead that to the outside, and we put a nice little high ball there. So that is a very, very unique cover 3 beater, but it does take quite a long time to develop, so it's not something you're going to be able to get off really, really frequently online. And against a cover 4, I'm going to show you guys just real quick. This is a regular cover 4, not match. We're going to go ahead and make cloud flats on the field. That's what you're going to see online most of the time. But we're going to go ahead and streak Evans right here, and we're actually going to motion him out. We can put our running back on a flat route and then a nice little backside dig route. I did not mean to do that. Let's go ahead and reset the play. And this is going to be the setup right here. You can also put your tight end on an out route, or you can put him on a flat route just like that. I really like this setup a little bit better. So we're going to go ahead and snap the ball and see exactly how this looks. And really we're just going to be looking for that corner route on the sideline again. That corner streak flat combo and bunch is going to be a staple of bunch. It's going to be something that's really, really deadly. So this is going to be one of our money plays out of this formation. Bunch trail is really, really good. Man coverage, I'm going to show you guys against man coverage. Really, you can just snap the ball with this play. Everything on this play is going to absolutely shred man coverage. But right here, we're going to go ahead and spy these guys so we have a little bit of time in the pocket, hopefully. You can motion block Evans as well, so you can buy a little bit more time. And I'll show you guys a different setup right here. As we were able to hit the corner route on the sideline, the post was also getting over the top. But really what we want to do with the solo side against man coverage is put him on a C route. C routes absolutely shred man coverage. They are the best man coverage beating routes in the game this year, in case you guys didn't know. We're going to go ahead and spy those guys. Let's block our running back and motion block Evans again. And this trail route from Kittle is going to shred man coverage. And this C route is also going to, we see how open it got right there. I actually high threw it even though I didn't have to. But a lot of the time, if you don't high throw those C routes, they are going to, it's going to be a scary throw. Trust me on that one. So we're going to go ahead and spy this guy, and then let's go ahead and motion block Mike Evans. Just one more time, I'll show you guys this. And we see that the C route absolutely shreds man coverage, and we did not have to high ball at that time. And we were able to rack that almost for a touchdown. Justin Jefferson with that route tech is absolutely going to shred man coverage. If you do have Jerry Rice or Randy Moss with route tech and Madden Ultimate Team, those are two very, very good options for the solo side receiver. All right, good old verticals from Gun Bunch, one of the most popular plays in the game every single year, and for a good reason. It is very, very good every single year. Now, this year, I like to set up verticals just like this. This is the only hot route we're going to make. We're going to put Godwin on a post, and that is going to be a pretty universal setup. For verticals against every single coverage. That's what we're going to do. And our first read is going to be this wheel route right here to Mike Evans. This is also a one-on-one ag opportunity. If they are playing man coverage, we are going to be able to throw a nice little high ball to Evans right there. That's why we like to have our big body receiver right there. And we see that he gave us a little bit of leverage, but not quite enough. So you want to make sure you pass lead that outside and high ball it. If you are going to throw that, I'll show you guys what that looks like. You can actually motion him out, motion him back in, and see exactly how much leverage you're going to get. See if we highball it there, we are able to fit that in there. So that's going to be our first read on verticals every single time. Our next read is going to be the tight end. Now the tight end is going to fit, it's going to get in a nice little pocket right there. That wheel route is going to be really, really effective against zone coverage. You're going to be able to throw that pretty much every single time, and they're going to start to user it because it's going to get really annoying. As we see, Kittle is able to make the catch, and then our next read, of course, is going to be the post right up the middle. We also do have the running back on the check and release route, so if we don't have time to throw this post, make sure you highball it up the middle. Then we are going to be able to have the running back on the check and release. This is against a cover 2. Against a cover 3, it's going to be the same concept here. We're going to look for this wheel route on the outside first. If that's open, we're always going to take it. Against the cover 3, it actually does get a little bit more open. Also against the cover 2, I'll show you guys as a cover 2. If we can buy enough time in the pocket, and we will by spying all these guys, that way we don't have any pass rush coming at us, we're going to be able to hit Evans on the sideline for a one-play touchdown. We just pass lead this straight up, and that wheel route's going to absolutely shred a cover 2. So bunch trail and verticals, both cover 2 beaters for one-play touchdowns. That's why you're not going to play against cover 2 against Gun Bunch very much. But let's get back into a cover 3. And again, if they show blitz here, we see when this guy drops to the outside, we are able to throw that. I threw it a little bit too late. I didn't mean to throw an interception there, obviously. But against the cover 3, they're going to drop back pretty far. Even when they pinch, show blitz, press, all that, when we see that outside corner drop back into a third, we know we're going to be able to throw that. We're able to highball it, and we're going to be able to pick up some yardage. If I would have highballed that to play before, I would not have thrown an interception. High balls this year obviously are so overpowered. And again, against a cover 3, we're going to go ahead and look for this tight end seam route. This wheel route from the tight end is so good at getting in between some coverage. We're able to fit it in right there, even though we got a little bit of an inaccurate pass. You saw that it was open. It's just a nice little pass lead that we basically are throwing that route open. So let's go ahead and get to a cover 3 again. And then let's look for that post over the middle this time. Now, this is a little bit tighter of a throw in a cover 3, but we were able to fit that in there. You guys saw it wasn't too scary, and Godwin was able to come down with the catch. Cover 4, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to keep that post, and then when that guy drops back, we highball that. If that is not open, then we are going to be able to throw that Kittle route every single time. Let's go ahead and make sure we are in a cover 4. A lot of people will play hard flats or cloud flats with their cover 4 if they are not playing match. So I'll show you guys this right here. Inside leverage, and we actually threw an interception right there. I didn't pass lead, or I pass led that too far inside with freeform passing, so I actually threw an interception on that, even though it was pretty open. I'll show you guys one more time. And that wasn't open at all. For whatever reason, that played that really funny. Let's go ahead and check this just one more time. Like I said, I don't want to waste too much time on any one play until we get into some of the more overpowered stuff. So I'll show you guys like this right here. And this time we were actually able to squeeze that thing in there. So we see that route can get open against a cover 4. And then again, we're going to look for the post over the middle. Now against man coverage, verticals is not really the best call, to be honest with you. So we're not going to go over what this looks like against man, because you're not going to want to call verticals against man coverage. I can show you guys just real quick. If they are in man coverage, sometimes you're going to be able to throw this running back wheel route just real quick. But if you do come out in verticals against man coverage, it's going to be for a one-on-one ag opportunity. In that case, we're going to go ahead and block the running back. We're going to motion Mike Evans out. And as soon as he turns the corner on this wheel route, we're going to high ball it and pass lead it about 2 o'clock. As we see, we are able to dunk on him, and we're actually going to be able to complete that thing. We also have a one-on-one with the tight end. So we're going to see if George Kittle can come down with this thing. We just want to make sure that we motion Evans out. Now Godwin will get open on that post, but most likely that's exactly where their user is going to go. So let's go ahead and show you guys here. We are able to come down with the completion. If you guys do call this against man coverage, it's going to be because those wheel routes are really, really good for aggressive catching. So I wouldn't expect any of those routes to get super, super open against man coverage unless you highball them, and then everything's open in this game. So we went over verticals against cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, and man coverage. Let's move on to our next play. So mesh spot is our next play, and we're going to basically turn this into mesh post just by putting Mike Evans right here on a post. Against the cover 2, we're going to look for this tight end wheel route right here. It wasn't really open, but that's going to be our first read on this play every single time. No matter what zone coverage they're in, that tight end wheel route will get open quite a bit. Now against the cover 2, this is not really the best play call. You will be able to throw this wheel route to the running back, and you're going to be able to highball that post over the top. That's going to be our main read every single time when we call this play. But I wouldn't say this is the best against a cover 2, so let's go ahead and move on to a cover 3. Against a cover 3 hard flat, this wheel route from the tight end is probably not going to get open. Neither is this wheel route from the running back, but these little mesh concepts with these 2 drags do a really good job of spacing the field and pulling the rest of the zones down to give us an opportunity to highball that post. Now, if you do have a big body receiver like Mike Evans running that route, if you have a Harold Carmichael in Madden Ultimate Team, I wouldn't worry about that getting picked off. Their user has to be all over that to actually intercept that, especially if you actually highball that and pass lead that right. We see we're able to throw it right at him, and there is just no animation whatsoever. You're not going to get an animation very, very often when you are playing against this specific play. I know people spam mesh post every single play. It is really good against man coverage as well. We'll hop into that here in just a few. We see we are able to fit that in there. It was a tight little squeeze. I'm not gonna lie, it's a tight little squeeze. That's probably not when you want to throw that ball against a show blitz type deal. Usually it'll be something like this that you'll see online, and this post route is usually going to get open over the top. Right there we see it's very open, so we are able to throw that against the cover 3. So our first read is going to be the wheel route from the tight end. Our second read is going to be the wheel route from the running back. Then we're going to look for the post over the top, and if nothing else is open, we're going to be able to throw those drags pretty late, almost when they get to the sidelines. Against the cover 4, this is also going to be pretty much the same concept. Our read progression is going to be exactly the same. Really, we're just going to look for this post over the middle. That is the main point of this play, is to look for this post over the middle. If they're not right on it with their user, you're going to be able to highball that all day. Now, a lot of the time they will be able to knock that out, but against a cover 4, this is a decent play, I would say. This isn't the best play against a cover 4, but the little mesh concept down low, you will have one of those drags open in the middle of the field pretty much every single time. If they are on those drags, then they're not going to be able to use those post routes. So it's really just a if-then. If they cover the post, then you're going to be able to throw the drags. If they don't cover the post, then you're not going to be able to throw the drags, obviously, but you're going to be able to throw the post, which is going to be our money route on this play. And then the wheel route from the tight end, there's always a one-on-one aggressive catch opportunity, just like right there. Now, we didn't come down with the catch this time, but sometimes you will be able to. Also, we see against a cover 4 that that wheel route was getting a little bit more open. I actually did not put the point receiver on a post right there, but you guys get the point. We were able to throw that wheel route against a cover 4, against a cover 3. We weren't really against the cover 2. We weren't really either. So against the cover 4, that wheel route definitely is an option. Make sure you highball that, pass lead it out, and we are able to pick up a few really, really easy yards. Against man coverage, this play is going to be money. I'll show you guys. This is Overstorm Brave, obviously one of the more meta blitzes in the game, and this post on the break is going to win pretty much every single time. Also, if we go ahead and spy the D line here, just so I can show you how this develops. and that is Minka on Leonard Fournette, and we see that we are able to throw that wheel route over the top for a one-play touchdown. For whatever reason, running back wheel routes just win in man coverage regardless. Minka is obviously faster than Leonard Fournette. Now, a lot of the time you won't be able to throw that wheel route because you won't have that much time in the pocket if they are sending a whole bunch of people at you. But as we see, we are able to throw that tight end wheel route against man coverage for a massive gain. We're able to break a tackle and rack that thing downfield. That's going to be our first read, even against man coverage. Our next read is going to be the post route, and then if the play develops long enough, we're going to be able to have one of those drags, or we're going to have the running back wheel route over the top. But I'm going to show you guys here that this post is going to win on the break pretty much every single time. Doesn't matter who their corner is. If you have any kind of decent speed receiver with decent route running, he's going to win on that post. That is a really, really money route against man coverage. So I showed you guys mesh spot, basically turned into mesh post against every single coverage. Let's hop into the next play. Alright, so now we're going to get into the play Y curl. This is one of the more underrated plays in the game. So we are actually going to start out with a cover 3 right here. I can show you guys this against cover 2, but it's honestly not the best call against cover 2. This is really a cover 3 killer. This also isn't the best call against man coverage, but against zone coverage, this is going to shred. Now, what we're going to want to do here is we're going to go ahead and motion our running back out on that wheel route. We're going to leave him on that wheel route. Other adjustments we can make is just put our tight end on a streak, and we can leave that little crossing route. What we're going to be looking for is this inverted seam streak from Justin Jefferson right here. We're able to highball that, and we see how open that really was. It's kind of like an inverted wheel route. It just takes a couple steps inside, and then it runs straight up the field. It is a really, really unique route. Not a lot of plays have routes like this. As we see, we don't even have to highball it. It's just wide open. We also had the open seam from the tight end. Against a cover 3, this is going to be really, really money. It is really, really hard to stop seam streaks this year. Even at a cover 4, it's hard to stop seam streaks. Cover 3 especially, though, it's really, really hard to stop them. And then, of course, we have this nice little drag underneath if our seam streaks are not open. But we saw that George Kittle and Justin Jefferson were both wide open on this play. Our first read, however, is going to be this running back wheel route. We see he does have leverage, so we are able to fit this into the sideline. We really have to thread the needle with that, though. We could have quick thrown that and thrown it a little bit earlier. That probably would have been the better option. But a lot of people are going to either press or show blitz, or both press and show blitz when they do run zone coverage. If they do that, we are able to throw this, squeeze that in there for about 5 yards. Sometimes you'll be able to break a tackle and get more, obviously. But this wheel route and inverted seam streak combo is really, really nasty. They really can't use all the seam streaks on this play, so they're going to have to make some different adjustments in zone coverage. For whatever reason, Kittle keeps dropping the ball. Other setups I like for this play are to actually motion this guy here over and leave him on this inverted seam streak. Then we can go ahead and put Kittle on a corner route. If we didn't know, if you motion the slot bunch receiver, the inside bunch receiver, he actually makes, when you motion him over to the other side of the formation, the tight end actually gets into a 3-point stance or a tight end, like real tight end position, and you're able to put him on tight end hot routes. So when we do this, we're able to put our tight end on a tight end corner route, which does a great job against man and zone coverage of getting open on the sideline. And then we're just going to go ahead and put Mike Evans on a streak. And this is a nasty seam streak play. As we see, we do have Godwin open up the middle. If we wait long enough, we're going to be able to have Kittle on the sideline. Most likely, sometimes they will play that. Now, this is to the short side of the field, so this is better for us as far as the streak flat combo goes, and we weren't able to fit that in there. But if they are playing hard flats, I can show you just real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and motion Godwin over. Same setup. We should be able to hit Kittle on the sideline this time. And we are able to hit Kittle on the sideline. He was wide open when they're playing hard flats. A lot of people will play cloud flats or they'll have zone drops set up. But again, the seam streak combination on this play just makes it absolutely money. Really, you can even put Kittle on a streak here, and that is just an insane combo. Everything is open, absolutely everything is open. They can't use all those vertical routes, and they all have either a step in or a step out first, and it really just creates really good spacing. So against zone coverage, that is going to be absolutely money. We know how good the seams are this year, and this does a really good job of exploiting it. Against the cover 4, it's not going to be quite as effective, obviously, because there's going to be more deep zones, but we're going to show you guys what this looks like against the cover 4. I really like the running back motioned out setup better against the cover 4, and then again, we're going to go ahead and put Kittle on a streak right here. Now, you will still be able to throw the running back, and we can even get a nice little rack animation and maybe move up the sideline a little bit. That was, you know, a show blitz and shaded down cover 4 type look. A lot of people, this, for whatever reason, unless you baseline, like if you baseline, this guy will be over here, but if you don't baseline, then he won't be, and it really creates a lot of problems when you run cover 4, especially against more compressed gun bunch type looks. But still, we are able to throw the seam streak right here. We're able to squeeze it in there. The inside quarter does a better job at playing it than the inside third does. But again, let's go ahead. Yeah, that's really what the cover 4 look should look like. But again, they're not going to be able to use both of these seam streaks, so you're going to be able to throw one or the other. Right here, we have a one-on-one situation. We're able to ag them. This does a really good job at spacing the field and creating one-on-ones. Now, what you will see a lot when you do play against Gun Bunch, or when you're running Gun Bunch online, is you saw how much that C route cooked man coverage. So what a lot of people will do is put this guy on an outside third, and so when they do that and you motion this running back over, I'm going to show you guys exactly what happens right here, but the setup for this against man coverage is to put this outside guy on a post and to put the tight end on an out route. Now, what's going to happen here is that outside third is going to not guard this whatsoever. It's going to be a one-play touchdown pretty much every single time. They're really going to have to use that, and this is a super popular thing that you're going to see out of Gun Bunch, or when you are in Gun Bunch, because once you spam that C route enough, they're going to almost definitely outside third it, and if they do outside third it, I'll show you guys the play art here. Even if they are blitzing, we're going to be able to fire that thing in there for a one-play touchdown. So this play is really deadly. This really makes them have to either user that, which means they're probably not going to user the running back, or they're going to have to man him up, and they're going to be sending one less person at you. So this play is super underrated. Also against man coverage, you can do some nasty stuff with some of these wheel routes. This crossing route does get open as well, but this wheel route right here, as we almost throw a pick on it, will sometimes get outside leverage, but not all the time. Wheel routes against man coverage are really inconsistent, but sometimes the Gun Bunch wheel routes and flat routes will be throwable against man coverage. So you saw how useful this play Y-Crow can be in a lot of situations. It is super deadly and not utilized enough online at all. Alright, so up to this point, I've just showed you some more basic setups, a couple beaters, but nothing really too crazy. I will show you a couple match coverage beaters, however, because I know a lot of people like to run match against Gun Bunch. It does a really good job at taking away those corner routes and any of those post routes. So we're going to go ahead and make sure our match coverage is on, and I'm going to go ahead and come out and cover 4 quarters. One of the more popular match calls that you're going to see, but this time we're going to want to make sure that our Gun Bunch is actually to the wide side. Now for this to work, we would need to make sure that our bunch is on the wide side. So we're going to come out in bunch trail, and we're going to go ahead and put Jefferson on a C route, and we're going to streak Kittle. Evans is going to go on a slant. You can do whatever you want with the running back. I like to put him on an in route or an out route. here we're going to put him on an in route, and we're going to go ahead and motion Evans out and snap him before he gets set. That is super important. So we're going to motion him out and snap him, and we see that this corner route is going to get wide open over the top really consistently. Basically it compromises that outside quarter. He doesn't know who to guard because that slant is coming from the outside, and he is late to react on the corner route. This is actually shout out to Zan. This is one of Zan's match beaters that he came up with. So this is not my play design, but I did want to show you guys that this is really effective against match coverage. As we see here, we're able to bullet past that for a nice, easy, almost one-play touchdown. We probably could have lobbed that over the top too. We'll show you guys here, even if it's not pressed, it doesn't matter. We're still going to be able to throw this thing for a one-play touchdown. And we see that he was able to get over the top right there. So pressed or not pressed, it really doesn't matter, although you are going to see cover four match pressed quite a bit. One more match beater, and this one is super deadly. It's going to be verticals, and the only thing we're going to want to do here is we're going to put Mike Evans on a streak. We're just going to snap this thing, and Mike Evans is going to get deadly open. As we see, he gets wide open over the top. That was a bad pass lead. Now if they do press it, it's going to be even worse. Mike Evans is going to get even more open. Nobody's going to be within the vicinity of him. As we see, we can lob this over the top, and we missed the throw again. But you see there's nobody within 20 yards of him. I don't know why they react so badly to this. It's because there's so many vertical routes on this side of the field. It really is going to compromise the match coverage. Here we're just going to bullet pass it, and we are actually able to complete it this time for a nice easy one-play touchdown. Another thing we saw that match coverage is on. I'm going to go ahead and just snap bunch trail and show you guys how the defense reacts. And the corner route's bracketed. You guys see everything is matched on that play. But what we can do here, a nice little trick to cancel the match coverage, is we can go ahead and motion our running back over to the right side of the formation. And if you guys didn't know, you can go ahead and put your running back on a streak and motion him over, and it will revert to one of those streaks that we saw from the running back before the patch. So that is something I like to do because not a lot of people know that exists. Put Mike Evans on a streak as well, and put Kittle on a flat route or an out route. But that is going to cancel the match coverage. When you have four routes to the same side of the field, it's going to cancel the match coverage. So if we are on the short side of the field, all we have to do is motion our running back over. We can actually put our running back on an out route or an in route, whichever one you like. You can leave your tight end on that trail route, and you can put Mike Evans on a streak over there. Let's go ahead and put this guy on a smart route and in route, and that corner route should get open because the match coverage should be canceled. And as we see there, the match coverage is canceled. We had the match setting on, but because there's four routes to one side of the field, the match coverage is always going to get canceled in this game. It doesn't matter what formation you do that out of. If you have four routes going to the same side of the field, it's going to completely cancel match coverage. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy the ebook. I have been running this quite a bit more online. I think Gun Bunch is really good, and I'm trying to get into it a little bit. I hate running meta stuff, but you got to take advantage of what you can, and I wanted to give you guys some more unique setups that you're not going to see in all these other ebooks online. Some more Hot Route Master setups as well. I know we have a much more affordable Hot Route Master in the game now with Aaron Rodgers, so that is going to make a big difference on a lot of people's teams. If you guys didn't know, Aaron Rodgers, the new Harvest promo master, gets set feet lead and Hot Route Master for 4 AP total, and he's like 600k compared to John Elway, who's like 3 point something million coins. So a lot more affordable. But if you guys did like that video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and make sure you're notified for all incoming Madden 23 Ultimate Team content from your boy. We should have part 6 of this ebook coming out very soon. I had to record this a few different times because I wanted to make it as quick as possible for you guys. I don't want to keep putting out 45-minute ebooks, so I'm going to do this part by part, and we're probably going to make it under 20 minutes apiece. But as always, it's your boy Killer Cam Friend. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.